Hello, David. It is so good to see you. And who is this little one? Oh, he is absolutely beautiful.
Hi, Emma. Come in. This is Leo, my new best friend. I adopted him from the animal shelter last week.
He is gorgeous. Look at his beautiful orange fur and his big green eyes. And he seems so friendly and confident already. Congratulations on your new family member.
Thank you. I am so happy to have him. He is the sweetest cat I have ever met. But to be honest, being a new pet owner is a little bit overwhelming. I have so many questions.
I can imagine. It is a big responsibility. You have been a cat owner for many years, right? I was hoping I could ask you for some advice.
Of course. I would be happy to help in any way I can. What is your most urgent question? What are you worried about?
My biggest question is about food. I want to make sure I am feeding him properly, but it is so confusing. I went to the pet store, and there were hundreds of different types of cat food. I had no idea what to choose.
I know that feeling. The pet food aisle can be very overwhelming. There are so many brands, flavors, and types. What did you end up buying?
Well, I got a bit of everything because I was so unsure. I bought a big bag of this dry food, which the store assistant called kibble, and I also bought a box of these small pouches of wet food.
That is a good start. So you have both wet food and dry food. That is the first big choice that every cat owner has to make.
Exactly. And that is my main question. Which one is better for him? Should I be feeding him the wet food or the dry food? Or both? I want him to be healthy and happy.
That is the most important thing. There are different opinions on this topic, and both types of food have their own benefits and drawbacks. Let's talk through the pros and cons of each one. Let's start by talking about the wet food, the kind you have in those pouches. What do you think the main advantage of that is?
Well, the cat, Leo, definitely seems to prefer it. When I open a pouch of wet food, he gets very excited and eats it all immediately. He seems to find it more delicious.
That is very common. Most cats love the taste and smell of wet food. But the biggest health benefit of wet food is its high water content.
High water content. What do you mean by that?
Wet food is about 75% water. This is really important for cats because, as a species, they do not have a strong thirst drive. This means they don't always drink enough water on their own.
So the wet food helps to keep them hydrated?
Exactly. Proper hydration is essential for their kidney health and their overall well-being. Feeding them wet food is a great way to make sure they are getting enough water in their diet every day.
Okay, so the wet food is good for hydration, and he loves the taste. That sounds great. So, should I just feed him wet food all the time? Is there any reason to give him the dry food at all?
That is a very good question. Yes, dry food, or kibble, also has some very important benefits for your cat. You should not ignore it.
What are the benefits of the dry food then?
The main benefit of dry food is for your cat's dental health. The hard, crunchy texture of the kibble is very good for their teeth.
How does it help their teeth?
When the cat chews the crunchy kibble, the hard pieces scrape against their teeth. This scraping action helps to remove plaque and tartar buildup. It is like a natural toothbrush for your cat. It can help to prevent dental disease in the future. Dry food is also very convenient for you as an owner because you can leave it out in a bowl all day without it spoiling.
I see. So the wet food is good for hydration, and the dry food is good for dental health. They both have important benefits. This makes my decision even more confusing.
It might seem confusing, but there is a very simple solution that many veterinarians recommend. It is called mixed feeding.
Mixed feeding? Does that just mean feeding a mix of both wet and dry food?
Exactly. By giving your cat a combination of both, you can give him the benefits of both types of food. He gets the hydration from the wet food and the dental benefits from the dry food.
That sounds like the perfect solution. It is the best of both worlds. So, how would that work in practice? How do I do a mixed feeding routine?
A good routine would be to give him a meal of wet food twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. And then you can leave a small bowl of dry kibble out for him to snack on during the day, if he gets hungry.
A pouch of wet food in the morning and evening, and a small bowl of dry kibble for snacking. That sounds like a great, balanced plan. I am going to start that routine tomorrow.
I think he will be very happy with that plan. Now, the next very important question is about the quantity. How much food should you be giving him each day?
I have been wondering about that. I don't want to give him too much food or too little. I have just been guessing the amount.
Guessing can be dangerous. Overfeeding can lead to obesity, which is a very serious health problem for cats. The best way to know the correct amount is to look at the feeding guide on the back of the pet food package.
The feeding guide. Oh, I see this little chart here on the back of the bag of kibble. It has a lot of numbers.
Yes, the guide will tell you how many grams of food you should give your cat per day. The recommendation is usually based on your cat's weight and age. A young, active kitten needs more food than an older, senior cat.
So you should weigh your cat and then follow the daily feeding recommendation on the package. It is the most accurate way to make sure you are not overfeeding or underfeeding him.
That is such a practical and helpful tip. I will weigh Leo tonight and calculate the perfect portion size for his meals. Now, we have talked about food, but what about drinks?
For drinks, it is very, very simple. A cat should only ever drink water, and you must make sure that he has access to fresh, clean water at all times, day and night.
I have a water bowl for him, and I change the water every morning. Is that enough?
That is perfect. Some cats prefer running water, so you can also consider getting a small pet water fountain. But a clean bowl is absolutely fine. Now, let's talk about the fun part, treats.
I have been giving him quite a lot of treats. I can't resist his cute face.
I know it's hard to resist, but treats should just be that, a treat. They should only make up a very small part of your cat's daily calorie intake, no more than 10%.
Only 10% of his calories from treats? I have probably been giving him too many. I will be more careful with those from now on.
It is a common mistake for new pet owners. We just want to make them happy. Now, I have another question about his eating habits. Sometimes he seems to be a very picky eater.
A picky eater? What do you mean?
Sometimes I will put his food in his bowl and he will just sniff it and then walk away without eating it. It worries me. Is he sick or does he just not like the food?
This is a very common cat behavior. Cats can be very finicky, which is another word for picky. There could be many reasons for it.
What should I do when he does that?
If it's wet food, you could try warming it up a little bit. A few seconds in the microwave can release the aromas and make it more appealing to him. You can also try a few different flavors or textures to see what he prefers. Some tats prefer pâté, and others prefer chunks in gravy. Trying different flavors and warming the food are great tips. I will try that next time he is being finicky. I also have a question about human food.
Ah, that is a very important topic. What is your question?
My last cat, when I was a child, used to love a little bit of milk in a saucer. I was thinking of giving some to Leo as a treat. Is that okay?
I know it is a very traditional image, a cat drinking milk, but you should not do it. Most adult cats are actually lactose intolerant. Milk can upset their stomach and cause them a lot of discomfort.
I had no idea. Thank you for telling me. I will not give him any milk. Are there any other human foods that are bad for cats?
Yes, there are many. Some foods are extremely dangerous, even toxic for cats. You should never, ever give your cat things like onions, garlic, chocolate, grapes, or raisins. They can be very harmful. It is safest to just stick to food that is specifically made for cats.
This has been the most helpful conversation, Emma. I feel like I have learned a whole year's worth of information about cat care in just a few minutes.
I am so happy I could help, David. You are asking all the right questions. It shows that you are going to be a wonderful and responsible pet owner.
I am really trying my best. I want Leo to have a very long, healthy, and happy life with me.
I know you do. And that brings me to my final and most important piece of advice. While I am happy to share my own experiences as a cat owner, I am not a professional.
What do you mean?
The best person to get expert advice from is your veterinarian. When you take Leo for his first checkup, you should have a detailed conversation with your vet about his diet. The vet can recommend the best type and brand of food based on Leo's specific age, breed, and health condition.
That is the best advice of all. A vet is the real expert. I will do that. Thank you again for everything. You have made me feel so much more confident.